Amelia, I just want to check something. Your father's company was taken over by my son, wasn't it? Why are you asking about that out of the blue? My father is still the president of the company. Please don't say crazy things. So, does that mean you're the next president? Well, that's fine anyway. Huh? Please stop talking nonsense. Who told you that information? I visited your house yesterday to see my son. That's when I heard about it. You visited our house? Are you telling me that you went in without permission? If you're coming, you should have told me in advance. My son was home since it was his day off, so it doesn't matter. You're just being paranoid, aren't you? I was working. Don't you dare to talk back to me. I have a very serious question. Did my husband say that he was going to be the president of my father's company? No, he didn't. We found a note in your working space. I can't believe you went into my working space without permission. Did you ransack the house? Of course not. Do you think I'm some sort of thief? We're family, so it's normal to enter each other's houses without permission. Please don't do that. Even though we are family, it's an invasion of privacy. That's not important right now. What's more important is what the note said. I saw that it said the next president will come from my heir. It must be my son, Warlock, am I right? I just made a note on the phone conversation I had with my father. It's confidential outside the company. Even though you are my mother-in-law, I can't tell you any more than that. I need to know everything related to that. Warlock is one of my family members who works for the company. He's on the list of candidates for the next president, isn't he? I have to hear at least that much. As I just told you, I can't talk to you because you are an outsider. I really can't. Well, by how you say it, I can tell that Warlock will be the next company president. Isn't that right? Please, stop prying. I can't tell you anything about that. There are 4 of my relatives working in the company, including you and Warlock. Then it's obvious that my son will be the next president, isn't it? Can we stop talking about this? I can't divulge any information. No, we need to continue talking. You don't have any male siblings, do you? I have 2 younger sisters, for your information. It's impossible for a woman to take over the company. That means the only male heir is Warlock. Please stop speculating and saying strange things. I can't tell you anything, no matter what. From that reaction, it seems that I was right about most of the things. I'm glad to hear that. Please give me a break. If you don't have any other business, can we end our conversation here? Maybe I should ask Warlock for an overseas trip next time. I want to go to Italy again. It seems that you don't want to listen to what I say. If it happens, I might as well carry out that plan. Yeah, let's do that. What are you talking about? Don't worry about it now. See you later. My name is Amelia. I'm 35 years old and currently working for a major company owned by my father. 5 years ago, I met and married Warlock, who is the same age as me. He is unreliable and somewhat dangerous, but I thought he was cute just the way he was. I still feel the same way even now. However, I always have a hard time dealing with my mother-in-law. Today, While I was at work, she entered the house without permission, even though she had my husband's permission, and even ransacked my room. I tried to warn her, but she wouldn't listen to me. However, I later regretted that I had underestimated Fanny, my mother-in-law. I'm sorry to inform you, but I've filed for your divorce. What? Was that really necessary after all this time? Besides, your husband passed away last year, so shouldn't you have filed the marriage termination papers at that time? What are you talking about? Don't be ridiculous. I'm grateful to my husband for leaving me a lot of inheritance. There's no way I'm terminating that now. Wait a minute. Then whose divorce papers did you file? You and Warlock. It's obvious, right? Huh? Why? Since Warlock has become the president of the company, I don't need you anymore. I want you to proceed with the divorce. What on earth are you talking about? I don't know where to begin. You have a harsh personality, and to be honest, I didn't like you. But I put up with it because you're the president's daughter. I'm glad that I can finally let that go now. I knew that you didn't like me, but you're being too arrogant, you know. Shut up! All I want is my son. Even this house belongs to us, mother and son, from today. I've always dreamed of living together with my son. No way. We've just completed our move into the high-rise where you and Warlock live. I'm a fast worker, aren't I? You're so selfish. This house is in Warlock's name, right? Then it shouldn't be strange for his mother to live together. Do you have a problem with that? As you know, I live here too. What were you thinking? Moving out without consulting me? I mean, you're already divorced from Warlock. So it's time for you to move out. I don't think having a discussion in advance with you is necessary. Fanny, please listen. Have you heard about the crime of forging documents? What is that? Do you mean it's a crime to write something without permission? That's right. It's against the law to make a divorce decree without the permission of the persons concerned. If you contact the authorities immediately, it is possible to revoke it. But I went there together with Warlock, so I have his permission. Seriously? He's been thinking about divorcing you for a long time. I wonder why you didn't notice. Gosh, that's unbelievable. Knowing how Warlock feels, are you still going to keep saying that you don't want to divorce him? You're pathetic. I don't know what to do. You have no choice anyway. Warlock and you are strangers now. I've sent your stuff to your parents' house, so don't worry. I can't believe you did this while I was working. This is just too much to bear. I don't like your personality, but in case you don't know, I'm grateful to you, okay? Thanks for being a stepping stone for my son to become the company's president. I'm sincerely indebted to you. Anyway, I'll discuss this with Warlock once. There's a lot of confusion here. You can talk it over, but don't come back to the high-rise, okay? I won't forgive you if you do something annoying like that. I'm off work tomorrow, so I'll call Warlock over to the cafe and we'll talk. Oh well, why don't you do whatever you want? See ya! It's been a week since your divorce. I know you're not over it. I just want you to stop obsessing over Warlock. Don't worry. I'm already over it. We talked about it, and I didn't go to the authorities to cancel the divorce. You're lying. Every day, Warlock says that he's going to see you. It's true that he comes to my parents' house every day. I knew it. You're going around calling your ex-husband and trying to get him to cancel the divorce. Can you explain the current situation to me? I think you misunderstood. Your son is begging me not to divorce him. I don't think so. Warlock wanted a divorce. I don't see a single reason why he's going to your parents' house. Stop taking advantage of my son for your own good. You know what? Stop running off on your own without knowing what's going on. How rude! Warlock said that he wants to divorce you. Also, it's a fact that he's going to be the company's president. I know everything. I wonder why you said that. As a matter of fact, Warlock won't be the president of our company. That can't be true. I saw the note you left with my own eyes. Instead of taking over the company, he's unemployed now. What are you talking about? That's impossible. Think about it carefully. In the days before the divorce, you entered our house several times without permission. Each time you came to our house, Warlock was there, wasn't he? Don't you think it's strange? Which part of that was strange? My son just happened to take a day off from work when I visited him. Our company is closed on Saturdays, Sundays, national holidays, New Year's, and summer holidays. We are on business during weekdays, and yet Warlock was home. What? I don't understand. Moreover, don't you think it's strange that he hasn't been going to work every day these days? I think he was just using his paid leaves. I mean, he's the company's president, so he doesn't have to come to the office, right? You're wrong. Even if he were the company's president, it's impossible for him to take day off so often on weekdays, even if he uses his paid leaves. Wait a minute. I'm getting more confused. Let me explain it to you step by step. Please listen carefully. First of all, Warlock was fired from our company 6 months ago. What? Why? He was a habitual slacker. He skipped work whenever he found time and didn't do a very good job at all. Our company can't keep a lazy person as an employee. Anyone would take a little time off to relax. Are you telling me that the company doesn't allow the employees to take a break? In Warlock's case, it went too far. It wasn't even in the category of taking a break. He said that he went to visit a client, but he ended up gambling at a casino. Because of that, he once forgot to visit an important client. No way! There's no way my son would do such a thing! I know he was unreliable and not serious about his work to begin with. I used to go together with him when I was in the same sales department. Really? But 6 months ago, I had to leave the sales department. That's when his slacking off habit worsened. Then that means you're the cause too, right? Of course not. Warlock is already 35 years old. I think it's normal for him to do his job on his own. No! I don't think you should leave him by himself, knowing that he can't do his job without help. You were his wife, weren't you? I've been appointed as an executive director, so there's no way I can follow up on the work of the sales department. What did you say? I was appointed as an executive director. Before that, I was the head of the sales department. My father nominated me for the position, so I was promoted. You didn't hear about this? No, I didn't. By any chance, are you the company's next president? I've told you many times, but I couldn't go into details because it's a company secret. But an executive director is a pretty important position. Don't you think so? I can't tell you anything about it. I'll leave that to your imagination. Then, why didn't you tell me about that at an early stage? I didn't think it was a good idea to tell you that your son is unemployed if he didn't tell you. Then at least tell him that you've become the executive director. I'm your mother-in-law. I thought you hate me. That's why I didn't tell you, because I knew that you wouldn't be interested in me. I can't believe this is really happening. Warlock is unemployed and you're one of the board members? I'm speechless. I've warned Warlock many times not to slack off. I've also given him proper guidance and training. But there was no room for improvement with him. So we had no choice but to have him quit the company. Please understand. But why did he accept my offer of divorcing you when he was in such a state? It turns out that what he wanted was the high-rise where we lived, and his father's inheritance. My husband's inheritance? He thought that he was going to have the high-rise as part of his share of the property, and if he lives there with you, he'll also benefit from his father's inheritance. With those, he was thinking that he'll have no trouble making ends meet after the divorce. So that's why he accepted my proposal so easily, even though he was unemployed? How foolish of him. However, after discussing the matter with me, various miscalculations and misunderstandings came to light. Then, he told me that he doesn't want a divorce. I didn't know that. What did you tell Warlock when you asked him to divorce me? I just told him that he should leave you because of your harsh personality. Why did you ask that? Did you talk to him about who's gonna be the next president? Warlock agreed to the divorce before I could even talk about that. That's why I told him about your misunderstanding. That's when he realized that he was relying on me financially since he was unemployed and finally started to get impatient. But was that enough to make him impatient? We still have a house, so it's not like that he's suddenly going to be in trouble. That's strange. You must have some kind of a plan, don't you? As for the high-rise, I bought it in one lump sum before I got married. Unfortunately, Warlock can't live in it because it's not subject to property division. Didn't you buy that after you got married? I thought the two of you went to a real estate agent to look for a new house while you were engaged. We did think about a new house, but my house is quite spacious, and we decided it would be a shame to let it go. So you and my son continued to live there? That's right. And then, when Warlock finally understood that if we're divorced, he would be homeless and jobless, he thought that it would be a bad idea to move on with the divorce under the current circumstances. So he is now begging me to cancel the divorce. After all, he's going to be kicked out of the high-rise. I can't believe I misunderstood everything. Oh my God. Sorry to hear that. I apologize for being selfish. Please don't divorce Warlock. It's too late, Fanny. You and your son are really just like each other. I can't believe I can't even live in that high-rise, and my son is jobless. Thank you so much for supporting Warlock until this day. I really hope that you'll continue to do the same. Don't make me laugh. Even though you've apologized to me, things won't change. You knew Warlock's personality before you married him. You wanted to support him, right? I thought he was cute at first because he was unreliable and a bit of a mess. I'm the eldest daughter, so I have a caring personality. Then you should continue to love him. And me too. Why do you expect me to take care of you and Warlock after what you've done to me? That's impossible, of course. I've sold my house since I thought I was going to live in the high-rise. What am I supposed to do now? You got a lot of inheritance from your husband, right? Besides, you're a pensioner, so why don't you do your best to make ends meet? I can't do that. That's why I moved out. You should have guessed. Are you kidding me? Did you spend all of your husband's inheritance? Well, something like that. Well, you said before that you wanted to go back to Italy again. But looks like you've been traveling overseas so much that you've run out of money. I was just so happy because I suddenly got a lot of money. I went on a cross-country tour of Europe and also a gourmet tour of Korea. Before I knew it, my balance turned to zero. So please, don't give up on me. Give me a break. On top of that, I even got a bill for the property tax on my house. I thought it was impossible to live on my pension alone. That's when I found out that Warlock might take over your father's company. Strictly speaking, that was your own mistake. Isn't that what you deserved? Don't say that. It was a ray of light for me. That's why I was going to make him divorce you and keep his earnings to myself. I never thought this would happen. If you had consulted me in the first place, I would have helped you a lot. Looks like you never listened to anyone. Then help me now. I don't want to do that. I'm not sure I'm ready to forgive you after what you've done to me. So, you don't even love my son anymore? My feelings have completely cooled off after this incident. I wonder if someone's feelings can change that easily. Warlock said he felt inferior and desperate because his wife had got a promotion and he was unemployed. But that doesn't mean I can go back with someone who can decide on divorce so easily. But you said you have a caring nature, didn't you? Why don't you take care of me and my son as your hobby? It will be fun. Please don't say anything without thinking in advance. It's not the same as taking care of someone you love. Oh no! Then what should I do? Please think about that on your own. As for the high-rise, we are preparing to sell it, so please leave as soon as possible. Please take care of your own son from now on. Don't abandon us! Help us! You are our only hope, Amelia! After that, I also proceeded with the sale of the high-rise and got rid of my mother-in-law and ex-husband. The last time I saw my mother-in-law and ex-husband, they were crying like babies. How embarrassing. My ex-husband was coming to my parents' house every day, so I warned him that if he came again, I would report him to the police. As a result, he got scared and stopped doing that. And then time passed. I was nominated by my father to be the next president of the company. And now, I'm working hard every day so that I can manage the company properly. My days are so busy that I have a newfound respect for my father. I have not been in contact with my mother-in-law and my ex-husband since then. Rumor has it that my ex-husband has not been able to find a new job. He kept changing his job since he's not capable to work at the same place for a long term. The property division that I gave him as a last mercy seems to have been used up immediately. Now they are living in poverty with only my mother-in-law's small pension. I tried to do everything I could, but it can't be helped. I feel bad about the way we parted. But from now on, I will forget about those two and try to do my best for the company and my own happiness.